What's going on? It's your boy CJ Goodfella back with the Boxing Clinic one time for the one time. We back with another video. Early morning grind, Monday morning. We in the building. Talking, basically second half of 2017 into 2018. The next best bunches of fights we can have. My top 7 most anticipated fights not already made. Some other guys are still busy or almost about to work into some fights as well. I took that kind of consideration. Some guys I think they're gonna win their next fight. I'll put them on the list as well. So basically just 7 fights that I threw together that I think are the most highly anticipated fights or could become the best fights from the end of 2017 into 2018 that pretty much the fans do want to see. And can't knock people, if we want to see the best fights. 2018 have gave us some great fights as well. And let's get into it. The first fight, number 7, is Gary Russell versus Javonte Tank Davis. Gary Russell expressed interest in moving up to 130 pounds. Because Carl Frampton, Leo Santa Cruz, Carl Frampton, Oscar Valdez, and whoever has a belt at 126 are not trying to unify. Abner Mars as well. So if he can't get a unification bout, he's looking to move up to 130 pounds. And why not make it a Baltimore versus Maryland rivalry? I believe the Gary Russell's from that Maryland area. I'm sure Javonte Tank Davis is from Baltimore. Why not make it happen? It sells at the MGM Harbor, right outside of Maryland, whatever venue they want to do it at. It's a big fight. I think Tank would happily oblige to fight Gary Russell. I think Gary Russell would welcome to fight Tank. It's some Baltimore, Maryland type rivalry type shit. I would love to see the fight. I don't know who won't want to see this fight. I think it's one of them fights that's going under the radar because most people don't know that Russell's about to move up. But when he does, I think it's one of the fights that draws some interest towards a lot of boxing fans once he moves up. My 6th most anticipated fight for the second half of this year going into 2018. Erislandy, Lara, Andrade. For the last 3 years or however long, they've been Twitter beefing over a possible fight, who pulling out the fight, or it's not enough money, whatever the bullshit is about the fight. We just need it to happen. Junior middleweight has been a weight class where the best have not historically fought the best. So far in the last few years, everybody's dancing around each other trying to get the one leg and fight the weakest champion, which is Jared Hurd right now. But, this fight that need to be made. Erislandy Lara is a solid fighter, but his resume is amongst the worst when it comes to his resume of lately post Canelo Alvarez. Demetrius Andrade, this is a dude who's been struck in neutral and just taking backward steps in his whole career. Not wanting to compete against the best, being a diva when actually he pretty much hasn't earned anything in his career to be the A side of anything. Even with the Lara fight, he's not the A side, and that's something that he needs to understand. About the sport of boxing, you got to earn your way to the A side, not talk your way into it. You feel me? And then number 5th most anticipated fight. Already got people talking. They want to see this on the Triple G, and Canelo undercard. Well, it won't happen because Charlo has a number 1 contender status up on the line versus Sebastian Healing for the right to Triple G's WBC belt. So why would you pass that up for a non-title fight or no chance of getting a title fight with Danny Jacobs? But, if he does get that number 1 position and gets a belt, or Danny Jacobs gets the belt, both managed by Al Heyman, it's a fight that everybody would love to see. It was a fight that I would love to see. And I think it has potential for big fireworks, I think Jamal Charlo has already been on record saying he'd knock his ass out. And you have to see. Just have to wait and see, I think both guys are solid, good power. I think Jermell Charlo will only get stronger from moving up in weight and get better, But you never know about his chin. Danny Jacobs is certified after taking Golovkin's biggest blows and getting off the canvas and being able to finish on his feet and do what most people thought he couldn't do, is competing. And in my mind, he won, but he came up a little short. Next fight, Manny Pacquiao versus Terrence Crawford. It's a fight that everybody wants to see. Easily could almost be number 1 in past years of fights that people want to see. And Pacquiao seems to want more money to fight Crawford, and usually that means the risk is very, very high for a fighter like Manny Pacquiao taking this fight. He doesn't seem to want any parts of Terrence Crawford, and I seen how big Terrence Crawford was, and I can oblige with that. You know, if he's really as big as I seen he was next to Sean Porter, and his skills really are, you know, the truth like they appear to be, he probably beat the shit out of Pacquiao, to be honest, at this point. Even at Pacquiao's prime, he probably beat the shit out of Pacquiao, and he's not even full stretch of his prime. It's too long, he's too big, too quick. You know, only thing wrong with Terrence Crawford is, you know, he get hit a little bit too much. That's because he's a little offensive and little defensive lapses. And Pacquiao ain't cracking with the same power he once was. But don't stop Pacquiao from wanting to fight. You know, if the money right, get it done. He's quick, a lot of speed. I think Terrence will handle him, but it's a fight that I want to see and still give Manny Pacquiao a good chance. Next fight, Deontay the Bronze Bomber versus Anthony Joshua. Right now, they're trying to get him to fight Dylan White, Deontay Wilder. They made him a big offer. I think it's over $3 million. But why would you want to fight Dylan White when you could fight Anthony Joshua? It seems like Klitschko is stalling for a rematch to help Anthony Joshua save face, because he's going to drop one of the belts not to face Luis Ortiz. They shouldn't be sending Dylan White over here. This is the fight that people want to see. Nobody gives a damn about Dylan White in the United States. He just had a split decision with Chisora. He needs a clear, convincing victory with Chisora before he even attempts to come over here. And they're just trying to protect, you know, Joshua. Why not get this fight popping? You know, the heavyweight division has been stale for so long with American heavyweight champions and other champions other than the Klitschkos. Let's make this fight happen. This is a fight that, you know, pretty much everybody wants to see. Easily could be number one on the list. Two power punchers, two guys who don't have apparently the strongest chin, and not a lot of heavyweights do. When you carry the power that these guys have, it can end at any given moment. The build-up will be epic. 50 Cent is already in the build-up. You know, Floyd is already in the build-up on Joshua's side, 50 on Wilder's side. Let's make it happen. My next biggest anticipated fight, I think it's number 2 on the list, Earl the Spence Truth versus Keith Thurman. It'll be the biggest fight. You know, I had it at number 1 for a minute, but then I thought about my next fight, said this is the fight. You know, Earl is a good puncher. Heard my boy talking Craig talking about Andre Berto saying Keith win because he's the bigger puncher. I think Keith is the more natural, explosive puncher. I think, you know, Earl is the more, you know, thudding, body punching type punching power. Two different type of powers, but this is a fight that everybody wants to see. It's going to be on regular CBS TV or some shit like that. Definitely a regular TV fight, especially with the extension of the rise of Earl Spence Jr. in the welterweight division. You know, Keith is still a little bit tentative, wanting to fight him, but it's a fight that's going to happen. Probably the most solid fight for it to happen out of all the fights. This is the fight that's most definitely going to happen. You know, unless somebody drops the belt or gets sick or some shit like that. But it's a good fight. You got them boxing fans somewhat split down the middle. I will make probably Earl the slight favorite, but it's really a 50-50 fight. Then my number 1 fight of all is Adonis Stevenson, Superman the King, bitch, you know, versus Andre SOG Ward, which most people think he's the lineal champion and the undisputed champion, but he got 1 belt to get from Adonis Stevenson, who's actually beat the guy who was the guy and is the lineal champion of the world. Like it or not, Stevenson seemed to gain a lot of fans this weekend after Kovalev got that ass whooped. So most fans are, you know, migrating to, you know, Canada to support Stevenson to beat Andre Ward, because Andre Ward whooped Kovalev twice. He beat their savior. They beat the leader of the pack. He beat the king, and now everybody's mad at Andre Ward because they always hated on Andre Ward because he's damn good, you know. And he showed them that he can crack. And, you know, this is a good fight. This is a guy with game-changing power in one hand, and this is on the other side, you got a guy who's a well-rounded boxer who probably won't let a one-handed fighter beat him. So, you know, it's a good fight to build up. Hopefully they both can come to agreement, which Stevenson is not easy to negotiate with. But these are the top 7 fights that I got headed to the last part of 2017 and 2018.